This Goodwill was my first stop of the day, and I always go straight to the toy section at this store. Usually I find some really great toys here, and they always have a really large selection. This is actually really bare compared to what it usually is, but I did see this animated talking reindeer head. I always look up any type of animatronic item like this. So I used Google Lens to figure out what this is, because on the back it was just marked made in China. It is missing the battery cover, but it was only $4.99. And when I used Google Lens, a few solds popped up on eBay for $45 plus shipping. So I figure I can get at least $35 for this. I always get asked if I sell Christmas items like that year round, and the answer is yes. If you notice, that sold on February 20th, so those items are definitely selling after Christmas. Now, I went to go check out this new cart that they pulled out, and I noticed this Casino Trio game, and I went ahead and scanned it, and it looked like there was a couple of solds for $60 on the high end, and then somebody auctioned one off. It sold for $16. I did buy that one for $10. I'm gonna list mine for $60 or best. I looked up some of these hair tools, none of them were good, but you guys, do not pass up mop refills. So I picked this one up for $1.99, and I'll probably sell it for somewhere around $18. Not a huge profit, but it will sell quickly. I should sell it within the next 2 weeks. And I love looking through these little bags to find some good treasures, but I didn't find anything in this section today. This Salvation Army store always bags up their items. They have a ton of little bags like that all around the store with different items. So right here, I checked this out because I'm always looking for Cutco. That is like the #1 kitchen brand that I'm looking for as far as utensils and knives. And I didn't find any in that bag, but I do find some at this store in a different aisle. So this is a great brand. I have sold one of these before that was brand new for like $125, and then I parted one out. I also picked up this Cuisinart coffee grinder for $7.99. I'm thinking I can sell that for about $30. It is used. Now, this, I was on the fence. Thankfully, it was the half off color. It was $19.99, so I only paid $10 for it. But let me open this up for you guys. You can see it kind of has like some water buildup right here, and I'm not too sure if I want to pick this up, but because it is half off, I did go ahead and pick it up, and I figure I can part it out worst case scenario. And again, I'm looking for some Cutco or some bagged up flatware. I did find these Oneida knives. I've never seen knives like this before. I was not going to pick these up, but then I noticed they were the half off color, so I only paid $3 for them. So I figure even if I only sell them for $20, $25, that's still a pretty good profit. And none of these knives were good knives, and I hate that this is how they sell their silverware. I never look through these. It's really rare. And then I picked up this first bag, and it was really light. Those serving utensils are false graph, and I actually have that pattern listed right now, and it has a really slow sell-through rate. So I didn't pick up this bag. I went ahead and just left them. I never look through the bins of flatware like this. If this is how the thrift store sells them, I really don't look through these. I will kind of glance and like shake it around, see if I see anything that catches my eye like this. I just sold a set of these, but this is Cambridge, and I sold a set of Oneida that was that pattern, so I just put it back. And then I picked this back up and take another look because I think I see Cutco in there, and I do. This little paring knife is marked Cutco right there on the handle or on the blade of the knife. And when I flip it over, I notice that there is another Cutco knife, but it's really hard to tell if it really is Cutco because it's a little darker than the other, but you can kind of read it on the blade. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is a Cutco 1021 knife, and the other one is a Cutco 1020. So I picked up that bag for $6, and now I am looking at the irons, and I'm always looking for expensive irons, which sounds crazy. This is an item I think a lot of people just don't look at. And this one right here will sell for about $40, $45. And it looks like I missed out on a good garage sale because this was marked $5 on this garage sale sticker that is still on the iron. And I'm going to be paying $8.99 for it at Salvation Army. Now, I plugged it in. It does heat up, but there was no way for me to test the steam mechanism. And that's what really sets these irons apart. if you notice all the holes in the bottom of that iron, that's why these demand a higher price. And they're made in Germany. So they're a really quality item. When you pick them up, you can tell that they are worth some money. So I didn't really see too many other electronics here. I always check out any hot rollers that I find, and this one I already know isn't worth anything, so I just leave that one behind. And then I did look up this item right here. I thought this was kind of odd, but it's a smart shopper. It's like you make a grocery list and it organizes it. You can print it out and take it to the store with you. But for $7.99, they were selling for like $30 and had a really slow sell-through rate, so I did not pick that item up. And I did pick this up. I used Google Lens to price this really quick. I only paid $2, and I believe they were selling for around $20 to $25. And then I recognize this item from my childhood. If I recognize something from my childhood, I'm definitely looking it up. At first, I'm like, oh, definitely I'm picking this up, $2.99. I'll sell it for $20, $25. Saw the stain on the bottom of his foot, and I was like, I think I can get that out. And then I flipped him over. There's another stain. So I decided to go ahead and leave him. I know myself, I won't ever clean that up. And then, you guys, my daughter played with this when she was little. She's going to be 20 this year, and this was like her toy. So this brought back some memories. And my last stop before I left this store was the shoe section. I always have to look through the shoes. For the most part, I just do kind of like a generic pickup check. Like right there, I picked those up, thought they were Crocs. They were way too light to be Crocs. I'll feel the shoes, see if they feel like real leather. And again, just picking them up, you can really tell if it's a quality shoe or not. And even like these right here, I didn't even flip those shoes all the way over. I could tell how light they were. They were just not a good quality of shoe. So I looked at every single pair of these shoes. Now, do I pick up every pair? Do I flip every pair over? No, I just don't have enough time for that. But when I picked up this pair of boots right here, I could tell they were a great quality. I've never heard of this brand before. I did a Google image search and saw a listing on Amazon for them, so I went ahead and picked these up for $6.99. And then there was a pair of shoes down here on the bottom I was really curious about. I spent way too much time trying to figure out what these were. They were leather, but I couldn't find anything on that brand. I even searched the logo, couldn't find anything, so I just went ahead and left them behind. So out of all of these shoes, this was the only pair that I ended up picking up. Until I was heading to the register, I saw these sandals, and I almost bought these a couple weeks ago, and I left them behind. I didn't do a lot of research on them, but I did pick these up today because tan shoes are 99 cents. So anything with a tan tag is 99 cents today only. So I only paid 99 cents for those shoes, and I will throw up a screenshot of what Google image pulled up for me when I took a picture of those, and then I added the name Colorado to my Google search, and this is what popped up. So I went ahead and picked them up, and I'm not really a plush seller, but I will look for the security blankets, and everything in this basket was 3 for $2.99, so 99 cents. I picked this one up because it's close to Easter, and I think this one sells for like $40, $45. I could be wrong, need to do a little bit more research, but I'll throw up what I had found when I was looking in the store. And then I did pick up this little security blanket that's like a rattle as well. I believe this one was from Carter's, and that one sells for around like $12. So this is everything that I end up picking up. My total was $55. So I load up the car and head to my next stop, and I'm still in the same town, just a different store. And I see this is Jemmy, so I go ahead and look this up, Mr. and Mrs. Snow. And this does not have the plug. It does need 2D batteries to test it, but I figure for $3.25, I believe it was, that it was worth the gamble. So I went ahead and picked it up, and I'm home now. I still have not tested it, so I need to do that. And then I just looked through the rest of these holiday items, but I don't end up finding anything else. And this thrift store is ginormous. This is one of the bigger thrift stores that I go to, and usually I only make it out here probably about twice a month, sometimes only once a month, but their prices are very, very cheap, and like I said, they always have a very large selection. I never go through the clothes though. I'm not a clothing reseller, so I'm not too sure how the clothing is here, but I do know their shoes most of the time are very worn, and I've never bought a pair of shoes from this location. So I have a question. If you're going down an aisle like this, do you look at both aisles at one time, or do you stick to one side, look at everything, and then come back down and look at the other aisle? So let me know in the comments. Now, this caught my eye. I sold a Nelson sprinkler before, but nothing like this. This is very heavy. It looks very old. It's only $4, and it does say that they couldn't test it out. Now, after looking at solds, I just go ahead and throw it in my cart, and I figure I will give it a test tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be warm enough. I live in Michigan, so we will see. Now, hair tools. I always look through hair tools. These were actually marked very cheap. None of them were over $2. So I run through them really quick looking for any professional brands, and I didn't see any. Now, professional brands are not the only brands that sell for decent money when it comes to hair tools. That's actually something I'm studying right now. I look up a lot of solds every night, and when I pick this up, I notice it's marked Sears. And I look through a lot of hair tools, and I've never seen a Sears hair tool. And when I picked that one up, I noticed that's marked Sears as well, and they're both only $1. So I went ahead and picked them up without looking them up. I figure I'm going to ask at least minimum $20 plus shipping on those. And then look at all these irons. And so I start looking through these, and I find another one just like the other one that I found at the other store. And the reason why I was able to spot this one is right there, made in Germany. So I did pick this one up. I was able to test this one. Again, it does heat up, but I couldn't test the steaming mechanism, so hopefully it works. I did look through the rest of these, and I didn't see any others that were worth any money. I did look 3 of them up. I believe all 3 of them were Sunbeams that I looked up. And the reason why I looked them up is when I picked them up, they were a lot heavier than the other irons, but nothing here was worth anything except for this one right here that I ended up picking up. This is a great brand. Keep an eye out for it. Now, I spent way too much time trying to figure out if this was worth any money. Honestly, I probably spent 10 minutes doing Terapeak, Google Image, eBay listed, eBay sold, Mercari. Like, I tried everywhere, and I could not find this Mr. Coffee item. I sell a lot of small kitchen appliances, and I've never seen this one before. And once I looked at the price, it was $3.25. I figure it's worth a gamble. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. And then I also picked up that little Halloween knocker for 50 cents, and it sells for 20. Okay, guys, we are still in the same store. It is a big store with a lot of hard goods. That's why I really like this store, because some stores, the hard goods section is very, very small. So this is all pet stuff, and there really isn't much here. I didn't see anything worth anything. I did pick up these Swiffer pads right here, but they wanted $10.25 for these, and so I just went ahead and put them back. Yeah, not worth anything. And then I'm always looking for harder to find shark mops or Bissell mops, and none of these were those, and they were all really dirty. And if something's too dirty, I just leave it, even if it's worth a little bit of money. I am not the best when it comes to buying something that needs to be cleaned or repaired and actually cleaning it or repairing it. So one of my goals for 2024 is to just leave those items behind. If it needs extensive cleaning or if it needs any type of repair, I know myself, I'm not going to do it, and I should just leave it on the shelf. Now, linens are a general price at this store. So pillowcases are 50 cents, sheets are $2, small blankets are $2, and then comforters are $5. They did have these 2 boxes of sheets, and I just couldn't bring myself to dig through them. It just reminded me of the Goodwill bins. I didn't have gloves on me, and I just didn't have a good feeling about digging through those sheets. So I went over to the pillow section, and I'm always looking for needle points or pillows that feel like they're a good quality, and none of those felt like that. And then this Barbie sleeping bag on the bottom shelf here, it was from 1994, and I didn't even look this up. I didn't look it up until I started making this video. These have a super low sell-through rate. 3 have sold, and all 3 have sold for, I believe it was $25 or less. I've never found a vintage kids sleeping bag that is actually worth money. I'm sure they're out there. I have just never found one. And then I looked through some of these pillows. I kind of test these pillows like how I test shoes. Pick them up, see if they're heavy, kind of feel them, see if they're made of a nicer material. And then most pillows have tags on them. I'll look at the tag, see if it's a brand that I know. I sell quite a few Pier 1 pillows, and of course I'm always looking for Ralph Lauren pillows as well, but I didn't find any pillows at this store today. All the pillows here are $1. Again, they have like a lot of general pricing. These 2 pillow shams caught my eye, and they were only marked at 50 cents. They are a matching pair. They're both new in the package, and these remind me of like a 90s floral print. So I went ahead and picked these up for 50 cents total. I'm sorry, $1 total. I figure on the low end, I'll ask 20 to 25 plus shipping on those. And then I do check through the comforters really quick. Again, I'm always looking for Ralph Lauren, Cross-Sell, Waverly, that type of brand. And then I could tell this was a wool blanket, and I couldn't really tell if somebody had made this or not, but I did not see a tag, so I folded this up and put it back on the shelf. Now I noticed these 2 shams match that comforter on the bottom shelf, so I picked up the sham because I figured it'd be easier to find the tag on the sham, and I did find the name of the company that made this. I looked it up on eBay, and only 1 had sold in the last 90 days, so left that behind. And then this place is packed with kids' toys. So I looked through a couple of these boxes to see if I could find anything. I did find this little Mickey Mouse set from 1984. I went ahead and picked that up. That was $1. And then I looked up a few more pieces here, but I didn't find anything else. So my total was a little bit more than $20 at this store, and now I'm heading to the next one. And this is a very, very small thrift store. This is probably one of the smallest thrift stores that I go to. This is a St. Vincent de Paul, and I'm going to be honest, it's really rare that I find anything at this store. And today was one of those days. I found 1 bag of silverware, and I paid $1 for it. It's a whole bunch of iced tea spoons. So I went ahead and bought that. I spent, I believe it was $1.60 total. And this is my last stop for the day. It's an estate sale, and I didn't realize this, but it is in an assisted living facility. So only about 5 of us can go in at a time. Of course, I go straight to the bathroom. I pick up this Estee Lauder lipstick. It's brand new. Don't worry. And then I really didn't see too much more in the bag. Now, I didn't record it, but at the last minute, I did end up purchasing a vintage leather Gucci bag for $75 because today was half off. It was $150 yesterday. And then on this table, I did pick up 2 bars of soap right here. I figured these are vintage. The packaging looks a little different than what this company uses now, so I went ahead and grabbed those. And then I almost grabbed this hairbrush, but I went ahead and left it behind. This is a really good brand. It would have been $1.50. I went into the bedroom to look up a few other items, and brand new they're selling for about $16, so I did not pick that up. Now this is the kitchen, and I did pick up this entire set of flatware. It does have a lot of serving utensils that come along with it, so that was half off. And then there's that Gucci bag to the left right there. I'm checking out right now, and I've had that $100 bill in my purse for like 3 weeks, and I'm so glad it was still there. Okay, you guys, this is the Gucci bag that I didn't get to show you guys. I didn't think it would still be there. I paid $75 for this today. It was $150. It is authentic. I don't know how much I can sell it for. I'm thinking at least $250 at the very, very minimum. It has the original dust bag in there. It does need a little bit of love. The corners are a little rough. So I think maybe some leather conditioner. See what I can do for it. But yeah, so I picked this up. I spent $97 total at the estate sales. Okay guys, so that's it for the day. My trunk is full, my back seat is kind of sort of full, and then I just made that purchase at the estate sale. I have been thrifting since like 10:30 this morning. It's 3:30. So I'm gonna go home and list my easiest items. That's usually what I like to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.